Good Morning Texas Home and Wealth, sponsored by Rodney Anderson with Supreme Lending.
Should you prepay, refinance, or do both? Our mortgage expert, Rodney Anderson, is here this morning to explain which is most profitable and to answer your questions. Good morning, Rodney.
Good morning, Jane. How are you?
And we're actually going to answer viewer questions. That's our purpose here this morning. So let's start out with the first one. Okay?
Absolutely. Yeah, saving money is really important. So I recommend people pull up a chair, see if this situation is you or a family member, and let's save some money.
Here we go. My friends and family have all told me I should refinance. I'm currently at 5% and owe $185 on my mortgage. $185,000. I apply an extra $300 a month, which is good.
Absolutely.
So should I refinance?
Yes. When they're prepaying like this, one of the best things they could do is refinance to a 15-year fixed rate mortgage because they're already paying extra on their mortgage. Mm-hmm. Most likely, if they refinance, here's what's going to happen. They're going to get a better interest rate.
Right.
And on a 15-year than a 30. And they're going to find that more of that payment goes to principal than interest. And a lot of people get fearful when it comes to refinancing to a 15-year. But if you've been doing that every single month for years and years, and you've been trained to do that, absolutely. But here's the other thing. The window of opportunity is closing as interest rates today was announced. They've hit a 3-month high.
Okay, I didn't know that. Just today?
Yes,
okay.
Today. Come
out. Second question then from a viewer. I took out an FHA loan in 2008 at 6.5% and currently owe $202,000. I only plan to live in the house for the next 2 years. Is it worth refinancing? That's a really good question if you're just going to live there 2 years.
Here's what I recommend. If you're at 6.5%, make phone calls. Now, lenders have options, for example, for you, that you can take a little bit higher interest rate and have a lot less closing costs. I had an example like this the other day. Well, rather than the going rate, they took a 0.5% higher on their rate. Their closing costs, they were going to break even in 4 months. So they had another 20 months of positive cash flow. So it's really important. Don't just look for the lowest rate. Look for the lowest situation that can save you the most money in the shortest period of time, especially if you're going to be out of there in 2 years. Most of the time, Jane, my recommendation to people, you have to break even in 2 years in order to refinance, or it's not worth it for you.
That's a good rule of thumb.
Absolutely.
Okay, next question. I'm currently at 5.5% on my mortgage, owe $300,000, but my home is worth $1 million. My property taxes are due. I owe $30,000, but do not have the money. What are my options? Yeah,
your options are to refinance and to roll in those taxes. You don't have to escrow, but if you're already having problems paying your taxes, I would recommend that you escrow. But the one thing you don't want to do is get behind on your property taxes because you will have late fees, you will have interest, you will have penalties, and the other thing, do not go to one of these companies that finance your property taxes because there's companies out there and you'll pay 17 to 20% of these companies. Go and look at refinancing.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
It is one of the fastest ways to lose money, and you're just paying interest that's going out the door.
Okay, my final question. My husband and I own a home worth $500,000. Our balance is $250,000. We started a business several years ago and financed it on our credit card. You and I were just talking about this. Should we consider a cash-out refinance?
Yeah, a lot of people finance their stuff on businesses to start out. Now, here's the important. If you're just self-employed, we got to make sure that you have positive cash flow, 2 years of tax returns to go through it. But get out of credit card debt. $250,000 at 20%, Jane. These people will pay $50,000 a year or $4,166 a month just in interest. There is no way in life, and even Mark Cuban says the worst thing anybody can have is carrying a credit card balance at all. So I would recommend if your financials are in order, you can qualify for a mortgage, do it, get out of debt.
Good advice.
Thanks, Jane.
Good way to save money.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rodney. If you're interested in any of these questions, you can give Rodney a call for your refinancing needs. The number to call is 800-EXPRESS, or you can go to rodneyanderson.com.